Um, Fournier, though, you mentioned Fournier. How is this going to impact him? He's going out there. He's going out there balling. He's doing everything he needs to do. Don't laugh. I mean, come on. He's shooting 66% the last 5-6 games.
Lock him in.
He's doing
Anything
everything.
he wants.
Anything he wants. Well, this is my question. Is he going to look at the situation and say, wow, this place is awful. I got to get out of here.
No.
He's going back to Orlando.
I think he's looking at it as I can shine here. You know?
He's going to go wherever the money's at.
Yeah.
If the Celtics say, we'll bring you back for 20, and let's say the Nuggets or some other team says, we'll sign you for 25. Guess what he's going to do? Bye-bye.
Well, that's an advantage.
Michael Porter Jr. is going to be like, really?
Yeah.
It is an advantage. They can do what they want. There's not a lot of teams that are going to – Evan Fournier is a luxury item, you know? Like, I don't know.
That's messed up, man. He's like, Fournier is Central AC, guys. You know, he's not the main.
Right now,
it's a luxury. You know, you don't have to get it. You know?
Well, that's good. It felt like they'd be able to keep him in.
He's the guy you don't necessarily want to throw $20 million at unless you have to. If you're the Celtics, because you can't replace him, you don't want to lose the asset. There's really nothing else coming down the pipeline. So the Celtics kind of have to pay him.
I was going to say, you don't think they have to? I think they do.
Well, yeah, they're not going to get the. They're not going to get any benefits from the way they've played. Like, he's not going to look at the situation and say, "Oh, I'll take the same money here I could get elsewhere because it's such a great situation." It's a terrible situation right now to be in.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how many offers he gets. I mean, I think I saw a ranking free agency ranking of players, and he was like 21 on the list.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's what I mean. Is like guys like him who command decent money but aren't the top of the market. It's a lot of money to throw at that type of player. It's a lot.
It is, and like, it's almost the type of signing that like a bad team would make.
That's what I mean. It's like we struck out on it's a Knicks signing.
Exactly. It's like we got to fill roster space somehow.
Give me a throwback comp, John. You're good with these. Give me a comp.
I can't think of one off the top.
This is like paying.
No, but Sherrod, I mean, like Evan Turner, I think is a great comp.
I feel like the Pistons did this with a bunch of players over the years. Like they did
that with Ben Gordon.
Yes. And then
Ben Gordon.
He was
good
out there
player.
the last 2 years of that contract. He was done. It was
Or even
he's got some Ben Gordon.
They just had Villanueva in there.
They just had a lot of slightly above average guys, or I'm not calling Evan Fournier slightly above average, but you know what I'm saying, like non-star guys that they were paying.
Though.
It's a Nicholas Batum contract. How about that? Or a Joakim Noah. That's another one. You know.
Well, the years will be interesting for sure.
A Luol Deng is another one. You know,
that'll be interesting. That's a good point, Bobby.
Those type of guys.
Exactly that level.
There'll be
right.
There'll be a balance here, and I guess the most you could give him is 5 years since they're the Bird team, but they're not going to max him, so it'll probably be 4. There's a balance here between them wanting to have all their cap space open one off season and still retain a good team now, because this is why I say pay him whatever, keep him at all costs. Because if they lose him and there's no replacement there, they could get a TP or whatever, but who cares at that point? They're in a really bad spot again. They're replacing him with a rookie. They're undermanned. Any injury is going to kill them again next year. And all of a sudden, whatever you want to add in 2-3 summers from now, you don't even have a team at that point to appeal to a free agent. So you're walking a line there between, all right, we can retain what we have, but we won't have the flexibility to sign Bradley Beal and whatever as a free agent. But at the same time, if you lose Fournier now and just collapse as a destination, you're not going to get that anyway. So it's a tough line that they're walking when it comes to that contract negotiation. That's why you hated that they signed an expiring contract, John. But what else was out there?
I mean, like I said, Gordon +1 was the safer play, and also Harrison Barnes, who wasn't gettable. Those were the appealing ones. Whatever it was, they couldn't get those done. So be it. But those guys +1 gave you much more flexibility to play around because you knew you had them coming back, and you could consider trading them. You know, if you wanted to as well. Where Fournier is, you got to back up the Brinks truck there.
Or you could have kept the whole TP.
Yeah,
which would have been risky, but.
What is interesting is what Bobby's realization is. Now, Bobby wants to keep Fournier. However, now Bobby has finally come around.
They can't give him 5 years?
No. On who, Bobby, that you no longer think is part of the Celtics' future plans?
Is it Thompson?
No.
Well, if they had a choice.
That was a really good guess.
It's not.
It's not Cornette.
Smart.
Yes. Bobby has turned on Marcus Bartholomew
Well,
Smart. I don't know if that's his middle name.
So you weren't here on Sunday, John.
Probably not.
I just felt the way I was saying it.
I was like, is that his
Bartholomew.
middle name?
Called for a middle name.
Marcus
I didn't-
Bart.
I didn't even notice until everyone started laughing. It just went right by. Yeah.
Bartholomew.
It's Osmond.
Bart Smart.
One Marcus Bartholomew Smart.
That'd be pretty good.
It's like when your mom's really mad at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Marcus Bartholomew, you better.
It was just dramatic effect.
No,
Oh,
they're coming up against a signing of Fournier here, a signing of Smart, as well as another guy like Rob possibly that they might have to extend here, sign the next offseason if they want to keep him around. Eventually, you have to pick and choose here and not lose a guy for nothing. And this is why at the deadline I said they should think long and hard about finding a enviable return for him there. I didn't love Gordon, but it was a good idea. My idea was John Collins at the time because you could re-sign him if you traded for him at that time. This summer, you can't do a sign and trade with Smart because you're hard capped. Even if you bring in a Ball, even if you bring in a Collins on a sign and trade, you hard cap yourself when you send out Smart in a sign and trade, and Smart only makes 16 versus those guys making like 24, 26. So you can't do it this offseason. So that makes it harder to move him now. His expiring contract makes it harder to move him now. But at the same time, can you keep Smart? Can you keep Fournier? Can you keep Rob on the same roster coming in next year as this roster gets more
That's
and
what
more
we said.
expensive?
It's if you re-sign everybody, extend Rob, re-sign Smart, it's the most expensive non-contending team in the history of the NBA, you know? And that's what's scary is you talk about Wick is getting squeamish, hanging on to Daniel Tice, and like
Grant's going to need a new contract soon.
You're talking about kaboom, big bucks, for a team that you're not certain is really cracking the top.
But
of
that pregame interview Wick did, man, I swear Wick's going through it, man.
Wait, what happened?
Oh yeah, you weren't there for that. He did a pregame
I didn't
interview.
see that either. You were the only one who saw that, Joe Sway.
Yeah, it was the extended pregame live, and they're asking everyone Tommy questions, and of course it's Wick. So after the Tommy questions are done, he's like, "So how you feel about this?" Obviously, this is before Jalen news dropped, but he was like, "How do you feel about this team?" And it's been a tough season, but how's everything going to finish? Like, how are you feeling about their chances against the Heat? He's like, we have good players, and like just the way he was coming. I gotta pull up that link, man. I gotta send it to you guys. But I was just like, he's not believing what he's saying. Like, I don't think he's believing what he's saying. And then he would go right into like another Tommy story. It's like he didn't want to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
The question is, do you want to sign Smart to another contract after next season?
For the right money, of course.
For the right money, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
But also, guys,
if the narrative is Smart is like he's a $20 million guy, which I've always thought was ludicrous, then no. But if Smart, to me, Smart is the classic. You do what you did last time. If you think there's a better deal out there, Marcus, by all means, go get it. Otherwise, if you want to hang out here, I got this much money for you. And if he comes back for it, great, because he is a valuable player and someone you absolutely have spots for on your roster, and he makes you better. But you don't back up the Brinks truck for him. No.
And the other thing I said was, it's kind of a tough sell, and it's a tough trade-off to go from Smart to Fournier. Like, I feel like you definitely lose.
I disagree with that.
Well, no, we talked about this last episode. We got to wait. The Celtics should wait to Nesmith comes through, right?
That's another thing.
I'm not joking. I mean, I'm serious. He could.
No, it's a real point.
Yeah, realistically, in a few years, he's supposed to take on that role, right?
Can Nesmith start to do some of the things that Smart does at a much cheaper price there?
I don't
you
think
just
so.
end up
And
trading.
he's a better shooter.
He's a better
you don't
shooter.
Think so, John?
I don't think he's that
He's a better
guy.
shooter. He's not all defense.
I think he's not. I think he lacks the overall instincts and whatever of Marcus. I think he's just simply saying, "I got to be an Energizer Bunny." Like you said, we did the interview with him, Bobby, and we were talking about it. It's a little bit of reinventing yourself on the fly. I'm gonna run around like freaking crazy to get myself on the floor now because that's what I need to do. But ultimately, my game is a little bit.
That's the idea.
My game's not that frenetic. Like, I'm kind of a smooth guy, and once the game slows down for me, I'm going to be doing, different sorts of things. I don't think that's his.
He could be a premier player. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that's his chosen role. It's like,
Or
if you're in the NHL
player?
and you got to go fight a couple of guys to get in the lineup, great. But do you want to be a goon the rest of your life? Like, I don't think Neesmith wants to be that guy who's just that's his mark.
We all agree that Neesmith
wants to be a star. He's a scorer.
Lunch pail player.
I don't think that's who he is. It's unlikely that Neesmith can ever become all defense, which has been great with Smart. But do we think Smart will become all defense again? That's a question you have to ask. No. Can Neesmith fill that off-ball shooting role better than him? I think that's certainly a possibility. And can he make a little plays on the ball? That's like we started to see signs of it.
Who's that, Nick? Nick?
My boy, man. We'll see him.
That was a distraction.
I didn't think he'd make it to the camera, but he was.
So here's all I'm trying to describe. You draft a player like Neesmith to eventually replace a veteran on the team, to work up to a starting role, to work up to a significant role on the team. At some point, you have to kind of make a choice there, like who's going to be the one that you cash in on now. Maybe you get a pick for him. Maybe you get a young player that you want to build up in return for Smart. Like, I don't know if they're going to get a better player than Smart, but at some point, if you want to keep the costs under control on this roster, you have to pick and choose between some of the guys that are going to get a little more expensive into the future. The only reason I look at Smart is because this year we saw his returns diminish just a little bit, and you don't want that to keep happening the year after that, and then all of a sudden there's nothing you can do with them, and he's on a medium-sized contract but giving you low contract production. I'm just looking at ways that you can balance it.
Is it fair to gauge this season though? Like, I know we've been saying that all season long for every single NBA team, but Marcus missed a lot of games, right, Bobby? I mean, when he came back, it seemed like he seemed relentless, and it seemed like he didn't miss a step. But now we're starting to see a little bit. Maybe he's starting to feel it now.
That's what makes it complicated for Danny to know exactly what to do. Because if Marcus played a full season and played the way he has, then the decision is pretty easy, right? But and if he missed a ton of games and played very, very little. Again, I think the decision becomes easier, but the fact is somewhere in between.
Can they bring everybody back next year?
No.
Is that an option? So it's
an option, but it's a bad one.
Yeah. So I don't want to lose Fournier. If they lose Fournier, I'm going to be very upset because I think he's a perfect fit with this team.
That was you.
Sorry.
Mad Bobby about to come out.
He's a better shooter.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Bobby might curse. You
no, but Bobby's not. You're going to make Bobby sad. Okay.
He's a better shooter. He's a better shooter. He's a better shooter than Smart. He's a better scorer than Smart. I think he glues together some of these pieces at least as well. Another 8-assist game tonight. He just flows within the offense well, and you never look at him and say, "Wow, Fournier's taking crazy shots. He's doing stuff you don't want him to do."
You never say that.
The issue that you're going to have, Bobby, though, is still it ignores bringing him back. Doesn't address what is one of the biggest problems with this team is that's their defense. Fournier is not going to. His offense will help you offensively and maybe get better.
Good defense so far.
When he checks the lane, he gambles a lot. But I'm with you, Bobby. Lately, when he gets a hand on it, it's great. But we've seen when he doesn't always get a hand on it. So yeah.
And even when he had I thought a really good game tonight defensively, Miami still shot damn near 60%. Right. So I mean, they need so many other pieces to fall into place, in addition to having guys like Fournier who can facilitate and get his shot and make things happen. They need a defensive lobotomy.
Hi guys, Cedric Maxwell here. I want to take a minute to tell you about Marigold Medical. I'm used to keeping my body in great shape, but with arthritis, even the most simple everyday tasks became unbearable. As soon as I called Marigold Medical, I knew I was in good hands. No drugs, no surgery, just an experienced team of caring professionals that wanted to get me back to doing the things I love. Make the call to Marigold Medical and get back to pain-free life.